Welcome back. Welcome back to Greenbox Gaming plays Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. My name is Joe. I'm joined by my good friends. I'm joined by Brad playing Hank.
Hello.
Dace playing Benji.
Hello.
And Jean playing Benedict, who is super good at leaving claymores exactly where they need to be.
Hello.
In real life and in game. It's a damnedest thing.
What a bomb to drop on us right before we
Yeah,
Joe
A
just
literal
reminded
bomb.
us.
A literal
That
bomb.
makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. We did a bad luck roll. And that's some bad luck for that cop. I didn't know that the bad luck could extend to other NPCs. I thought it was only that I get the bad luck.
It turns out that the team, that your your decisions have impacts on those around you.
Shit.
It's a damnedest thing. So, but yeah, so like, so this is yeah, so that's gonna be interesting for you guys. I actually have a question here at the top end. That is something that I was thinking about this week. I saw a very. What do you guys think about, you know, homebrew type rules in systems that are mostly not homebrew? Because obviously we're using this system. It kind of has things stated. Like, how much flexibility is too much flexibility in this kind of thing, do you think?
I've got kind of a radical opinion on this. You want to go first, Brad?
No.
Emphatically
Okay.
no. I'm like the opposite of a rules lawyer. Fuck the rules. Fuck the game balance. I don't give a shit. I'm here to have
Make it
fun with my
fun.
friends. I'm here for the
Yeah.
narrative. Fuck it. Burn the system down.
Yeah. I think
Which
you like
coincidentally is why DACE is no longer allowed within 50 meters of most federal buildings. So,
No, let's not talk about
I
that.
think the fun comes first, you know, for sure.
Absolutely.
But rules can be fun. So
Yeah.
Rules can make it fun. I mean, they're there for a reason, like for stakes. Like, I absolutely understand that. But
That is I think that is a phenomenal way to put it. That the rules make the stakes.
mhm.
Right. Yeah, that's actually great.
You can write that down.
except for in this instance, Joe, in this one I think it would be way more
Throw the
fun
rules out.
Oh,
if we
yeah.
just throw it out.
Yeah.
And you know,
Well,
he
without
doesn't
rules,
see
you
anything.
don't have a game. There is no game
There's that.
without rules.
Yep,
That's like
yep.
fundamentals to game mechanics.
And also, rules are made to be broken. That's fundamental to live in a good life.
True.
True.
Two rules to rules and games is
Yes.
that rules gotta have games and rules gotta
Game-
be broken.
And games have to have rules.
Rules gotta have
break-
games.
And brokens
The
have to
game.
have rules.
By breaking the rules. And brokens have to have games.
Well, the reason I asked this is because I actually saw a really, really interesting. It was on the Delta Green Reddit. Someone had asked the question. It's something I had thought about previous. I don't know if I ever brought it to you guys. Is the idea of willpower points. Now, willpower points, as you guys know, like say you don't get a good night's sleep, you need to push through. You can burn willpower for that. You need to deflect onto a bond or repress an episode of insanity. You burn willpower for that. You usually get that back when you sleep. More complicated for Benji because of sleeping issues. And all that. But one of the things that I always kind of felt like in Delta Green is that it didn't seem like willpower got soaked. It doesn't seem like it got used that much. Especially if you're playing, especially if you're playing a single operation, for instance. You know, because what we're doing, you guys are going all over many, many days. You know, we started 95, we're in 2015. You know, you guys are like, this is a much longer form campaign. I think willpower points feel more limiting. Like, they seem more like a resource that needs to be valued in this setting for a longer term thing. But especially for single operations, it seems just like, I don't know, like it doesn't seem like it ever really gets tapped out. Or at least not the way we've been playing it. Have we been playing it wrong? Maybe. You know?
Very possible.
So what
Very
was the
possible.
post? They were just making the observation that it's not used a lot.
Well, someone had asked, what do you do with willpower in your game? Do you do anything special with it? And someone posted a thing, which I thought was really, really good. Are you guys familiar with Call of Cthulhu, the game at all?
Yes.
Okay,
What's a Cthulhu?
there you go. So we're gonna have to really lay some groundwork here for Brad. But there was in Call of Cthulhu, there's this idea of pushing a roll, where if you try a roll and you fail it, you can basically roll it again. But you need to acknowledge if you fail it the second time, the result is extra bad. It's kind of like really a critical failure. So you got to gamble that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I do like
That's
that.
cool.
So someone had said, go ahead.
In what context are you talking about? Because you can't apply that to every single roll. right?
Absolutely. And that's where willpower points come in. What if you use willpower points to push a roll?
Yeah, I
That
like
could
that.
happen.
Like you're adding that to the roll, that number.
You're not adding, you're just rolling completely new. So you would burn willpower
spend
for
it,
the
yeah.
opportunity to re-roll a roll, keeping in mind that if it goes bad, it now goes mega bad.
I like that a lot, honestly.
It's like
Right.
doubling.
I would
down.
I would not be opposed to adding that to this, because that sounds kind of cool.
It could also, I mean, I like it because it could have dire consequences.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, there was a point in this campaign when Benji was low on willpower, and it was like a major hindrance.
It definitely affects your decision making. And I don't know, like, if we were to do something like this, it would definitely affect how I think it affects the feel of willpower points.
Yeah.
It feels like they're.
Yeah.
It might need to be tweaked a little bit. I don't know exactly, because if you can just roll again, I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, like I say, you're burning a resource. Not only are you burning a resource, but there's also the chance that if it goes bad, it goes bad. Like it goes.
What? So
That's
just
good.
one will point per roll.
Well, I don't know. I was going to ask you guys, like, what do you think? Like, or do we think just 1 point? Or like, and here's the thing: we could try this out and hate it. We could try it out and say 1 willpower point's not enough. Let's do 1d. Let's do 1d2. Let's do a coin flip. It's 1 or a 2. Or we say let's do 1d3. You know, I don't know.
I think
I
it's,
reckon-
it seems a little slightly overpowering if it's just
Yeah.
just one will point for an extra
Mhm.
roll. That seems slightly
Okay.
more beneficial for the player. But yeah, maybe if it was something like a D1 or D2, you know, it's
Why
also
don't we
random how
try
much
this?
will point is removed.
Right.
Why don't we try this in reverb? I wouldn't want to mess too
Hmm.
much with it here without trying it out in a maybe lower stakes
That's
setting.
interesting.
I don't know. Well, I mean, what's you guys take?
Well,
I'm definitely down for trying.
here's the
It's
thing that
all
bothers
bad.
me about it. It could potentially have like great effect on the narrative. Like, imagine when Benji made that roll against Barbas, the one that ended up killing him.
Right.
What if I was just like, nope, redo?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that would change the narrative completely.
So
in,
you're
in a
saying
bad way, honestly.
So you're saying that you really do like the idea that having that forced upon you in that situation because you failed it and that's a failure, that feels very. And I guess the idea
But
of
I
like
mean,
how could that
it's
have gone
too-
worse? you know,
Yeah,
like-
that's what I'm saying. It's two-sided. What if you failed it again? Then it could have gone.
And then instead of shooting Barbas,
And turns the gun in his own mouth.
Yeah.
no, I was gonna say
Honestly.
you shoot Barbas, and then you turn the gun on one of these guys,
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
that's what I
Yeah.
would've
and then
said.
they have to wrestle the gun from you. Like,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
well, and that kind of puts the weight on me to say, okay, a failure's bad. What's worse than that?
A double failure.
I take your point. That could also have been interesting.
I guess you could make it as a platform to get creative. It's just another dynamic.
I kind of
You
like
just have to
it. I
control the
like it.
narrative.
I'm making the call. I like it.
Do,
some
do
capacity.
we want to do a vote? Do we want to?
Hit it? No, play with it. You're the DM.
What do you mean for today's session? Sure.
Do you guys want to try it here? Jean seems to think it'd be a good idea for reverb. We can give it a go over there.
I'm down for trying it here.
What are we
I like
thinking?
the idea. I like the idea you suggested. It's a reroll, and it's also either it's up to a die whether it's 1 or 2 will points.
Okay.
That's what I like that idea.
I'm for it. I think it should matter even more than that. I think it should be like an automatic 3 will points. Like,
Automatic
I think it should
3. You should have to pay for it.
That's heavy.
be. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It should be heavy.
It should be heavy.
It should be reserved for occasions when it like truly matters.
Hmm.
What happens when you exhaust willpower?
Oh, that is a fine question. Let's why don't we refer to the rules real quick? 21st, the rules on willpower, because unless I'm mistaken, I do not want to speak out
I
of
think
hand.
you just get sad.
Oh, I think
You
it's
just get
worse
sad.
than that.
You
It's
just
giving
have a
depression
frowny face.
vibes.
It's giving depression vibes.
No
You just
cap.
get a frowny face, and then
At
it goes
two-
back up to max.
At 2 willpower, this is on page 18 of the player's handbook. At 2 willpower, your agent has a temporary emotional collapse.
Oh, yeah.
At
You just get
0 willpower, your patient falls unconscious.
Oh, no.
Patient
Wow.
just then.
Did I
Is that
say
a Freudian
patient?
slip?
Pardon
That
me.
makes sense.
When my patients are at 0 willpower, they have an emotional collapse.
They go unconscious.
That could be bad.
All right.
To
I'm
drop
at 4 at the moment,
unconscious.
so that's not great.
Really? I was
Yeah.
completely I'm full on willpower,
You're at
but I'm
4
like halfway.
willpower?
Yeah.
Huh.
I can't remember why.
It's probably because you
Mine
deflected.
is
Yeah,
is
probably.
at full capacity, but my hit points are still half.
Okay. I don't know. Like, so if we want to do this, do you guys, are we thinking 1 or 2, 1 to 3? We thinking 2? We thinking 3? What are we thinking?
Roll a
I'm in the-
d4. Roll a d4 to determine.
Roll a d4
Okay.
to determine what die we're gonna do. What we're gonna use.
No, how much willpower?
Jeez.
The
Roll
dice
a
are gonna
D4 to
pick.
see if it's a D2. and
Yeah.
then-
If it's a 1, it's a d2. If it's a 2, it's roll a d4.
no. I like that.
That's a lot
Okay.
of variability. Okay, so from here on out, for temporarily, we can always revisit it. Let's say, for the purposes of Greenbox Gaming, that we are doing a Call of Cthulhu-esque push style rule, which will cost 1d4 of willpower.
Let it be
utilized.
known. Write
be
it in
known.
stone.
Here on out.
Etch it in the tablets.
Yes. So it's good to be aware of that. It's also good to be aware that right outside the Barbus residence, there apparently is a law enforcement presence that has just showed up on the scene.
Shit.
So,
So would you say he's approaching the Claymore door? Yeah.
so last time the crew, after leaving the night world, on the lam from the law, and most likely Delta Green as well, contacted some demons, received some new weapons, went a little bit insane, and then were on the back end rewarded the sanity gains that they should have been given by me. And you guys had been told that you need to go investigate Barb's house. As you did, you kind of discovered some weird stuff. You discovered this weird mechanical clockwork kind of cuckoo clock play thing, which seemed to kind of like this idea of like, you guys need to find the hotel brought out, and what's with these weird guys with the shotguns and the not tuxedos, that's different, and the trench coats. You guys notice some of these figures observing you, and then you begin to dig in, and you kind of got off a little bit into this idea of this bottle that you found within this construct. The bottle of none other than whatever in the hell his name is, Victor Karel.
Victor.
Yes, Victor Karel. Which led you down a bit of a rabbit hole of that there's something going on here. Hank used some of his law enforcement connections, some of his law enforcement knowledge. Say, this young man died, supposedly by a mugging. Smells fishy. You have seen that there's some evidence that he was a theater or film student, and that there's some evidence of some play or some film that he made. No evidence of it. Also, his girlfriend killed herself just prior to that. That seems kind of weird. And you guys were beginning to question, and you guys knew that doing this, looking this up online, activating Hank's, kind of connections to these systems might attract some attention from Delta Green or from traditional law enforcement. And so you guys decided that you were going to try to find a way out. So you guys began to investigate Barbus's, this bathroom with this mirror in it, with the books. You discovered that it appears that Barbus might have been communicating with someone, in the Samahina home, which was interesting. And as you guys are trying to decide, are we going to go through this mirror? Like, what are we going to do? Because Benedict seems to have a newfound capacity. That something is weird with the mirrors with Benedict. And as you guys are dealing with this, I rolled some rolls, as you had mentioned at the end of the last episode. Like, Joe's just over here rolling rolls. What's he doing? And you guys just caught the flash of a flashlight across the bathroom window. And Hank had picked up the unmistakable crackle of a patrolman's, personal, belt radio. So, that all being said, you guys are here in the bathroom, kind of all squeezed in here. You have this, I assume Wenji still has this empty bottle. Now, this empty bottle of Victor Correll's.
Yep.
And you have just heard, again, Hank, I imagine, Hank, that you saw the windows, and Hank's eyes flash up. Hank, might, hold up Hank has, a SWAT background. So Hank probably holds up, a fist, which is, a sign for freeze. And, and you guys, eyes wide. And then there is and this is what I mentioned to the guys right before we went live. And I would imagine this is the moment when Benedict remembers that there is a claymore facing, was it the front or the back door of the house? The
It
front?
was towards the woods.
He
Towards the
moved it
woods.
to the front.
So that's the front door.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, you switched it around.
yes.
Yep.
So, that being said, what would you guys
So
saw
he's now
this.
heading around. Okay, if we look at the map, he's now heading towards the stoop. We're in the bath.
Yes.
Okay.
I saw
He's
this.
not there yet.
Let me move that around actually, so that there we go, so the viewers can see it. Yes.
I saw this the show, The Three Stooges, and they all were hunched down and they are sneaking in a single file line, and they got behind one and someone and knocked him in the head with a bottle, and they collapsed. So we could try that.
So what Hank says.
Hank, SWAT expert. Yes. So the light is going along the side of the house. Because you guys are, can you see the? If you can see the map, you
Yes.
guys are here in the bathroom. You just saw the light go by. It looks like that they're most likely moving towards the back door to the kitchen.
Fuck. Okay. Wenji hands Benedict the bottle and runs down to the front door and opens it.
Okay.
Okay.
He thrusts the bottle into your hands. You're now holding a bottle, and Wenji goes around the front and opens the door. There is a patrol car. Not right in front of the house, but right to the side on the street. It appears to be.
Where's
empty.
our van?
I think your van would have been either. Would you have parked the van in the driveway? Answer me that. What do you think?
Can we lie?
You need to tell me what you think your characters would have done in the situation, having known that you guys were evading detection.
I think we would have been on the street, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know.
Parked it down the street
Down the street
and then
Yeah.
walked to the house. That's what I do
Yeah.
when I'm breaking into houses.
all the time.
Smart.
He's a professional, consummate professional, people. Yeah, so we'll say that your van is down a bit.
Wenji yells out, "Hello? Is somebody there?"
Okay.
Really?
You do that. And very quickly, you guys in the bathroom see the flashlights now snap back towards the front of the house.
Wait. You're gonna say that with an IED right in front of you?
No, I'm at the front door.
Yeah, that's where the IED
That's where the
is.
IED. That's where
Oh,
the.
fuck me.
the-
Oh
now,
no.
Okay, it doesn't have to be at your feet. Okay, I will say that the way that you would normally stand off in an IED that's directional is you probably have 10 meters of standoff. So it's probably in the back of the living room somewhere facing that. So you're in the arc. This thing has been placed. I had assumed, and I guess Jean can weigh on this. I assumed it was placed that if anyone had come through the front door, you'd be able to kill them.
Yeah. I think it was to guard against the guys coming from the
So
woods.
Benji is currently standing in the arc.
When does it go off?
Me.
It
Is
goes
this
off when
manual?
it goes off when you hit a trigger.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. It's not okay.
This is not Call of
We
Duty.
have the remote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yes,
claymore.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, this is not a Claymore from Call of Duty. You use that language, and that's what you're talking about.
Sigh of relief.
Yeah. But you're in the
All
kill
right.
zone.
Yeah. So, but you. All right. So you go up there and you say hello, and you see coming around the side of the house, you see not one but two police officers.
Shit.
They appear to be, because this is in Medford, Massachusetts. But you guys are kind of like out in the county. They look like they might be county deputies. As you guys are kind of out in the suburbs. They come around. One of them is a. Actually, everyone, roll me a luck roll. Give me a luck roll. Let's see.
I don't know what it is, but for some reason I'm more scared of these cops than I am of Clockworks
Right.
right now.
Benji got a hard fail with a 93.
I got a 33 under 100 or under
got
50.
it. I got a 2 under 100.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I only needed one of those,
Oh,
but I will say that because you have 2 passes and a fail, I'll give you a pass, I guess. So I should have said that just one of you to do it. I should have just had Benji do it. But so. Yeah, so they walk up and they do not have their hands on their pistols. You know, they seem to be relaxed when they come up. It's probably like a guy like in his like mid 20s, and then maybe like a bit of an older guy, maybe in his like late 30s. Cops, they come around, they shine the light up at you. The younger guy does seem to be kind of keeping the beam in your face, like traditional police style, not like aggressively, just like keeping an eye on you, like. Good evening, ma'am, says the older cop.
Evening, officers. May I help you?
Yes, we received a call about some suspicious activity in the house here. Is this... some of the neighbors were concerned. I guess there's been some neighborhood kids, like, kicking around here, making noise. Is this your place?
I've been home all evening, and I haven't noticed any neighborhood kids. No, this is not my place. I'm waiting on Elias. He's at work currently. Weird.
Elias, is that the name of the... He takes out like a little pen and piece of paper, it's like, Elias, is that who lives here?
Yes, we're dating.
And you... Oh, okay, you're dating. Okay. It's
Benedict motions to Hank just while this is going on to just like lock and load, get in position.
just in
You
case.
never know.
So
Okay.
he's like, and it's dark, and they start to walk up on the front porch, and they shine the light behind you into the living room, which has this big black monolith-looking thing in front of the couch. And it's just like, and again, like, it's dark. He's like, problem with your electricity?
Oh, no, just watching a movie. We'd like to turn the lights off.
Okay. Well, and your name, ma'am?
Wendy, right?
Wendy Wright? Okay. So go ahead and let's start making some rolls here to see what happens.
Certainly.
Certainly. I will... flat rolls, no bonuses, no minuses. Let's just see what happens. You can give me like a persuade or a... Is there a deception? Is there that skill, or is that a different game I'm thinking of?
Different game. Different game. There's a persuade. Can I...
Yeah, you could always burn some willpower if you fail. What are you thinking?
I really want to be a fucking munchkin and finagle a way to use Humint, but I think it's probably got to be a persuade, huh?
If you want to use okay, let's do this. If you want to use Humint, it's not going to be your role, but if you want to use Humint to get like a better position or to like get an idea of what these guys' deals are, then maybe.
Is that cheap? Is that cheap to do? I mean, Winchie would just be he would try to put them at ease.
Okay.
No, that feels cheap.
Okay,
I'm gonna
it
do
feels cheap.
persuade.
Okay, let's do persuade.
What's your surgery?
Yeah.
We can
What about
operate
your
on
surgical? What's your swim?
20 actually. I do have swim.
Yeah.
All right, persuade. Here we go.
Let's see what happens.
Hey, success. 13 under 46. Nice.
Okay. They kind of look like the flashlight does linger on the black clockwork thing for a bit. It's like, and you know, and maybe like you look back there, and it does like from here, it probably looks like a really, really specific niche coffee table. Like it's just weird. Like, and you know, the house is
Oh,
kind of a
that?
wreck.
Elias is a bit of an eccentric.
Uh huh. Smells like gasoline. Is there? And like, and there's like you know, and it does. It smells like gasoline and oil and stuff. And there's like pieces of machinery all over the place.
Oh, right.
We don't have a garage. The lawnmower broke last week, and Elias has been forced to work on it in the house. It's he tells me it's a carburetor problem.
Smart.
Okay. Well, okay, Miss Wright. Well, you have a nice evening. If you see anything weird, you know, don't be afraid to give us a shout.
Of course, officers. Thank you for checking in.
Of course. And they kind of ease back down, and you know, and like maybe the older cop maybe does, like, as he's getting in, maybe he does kind of stop. He gets in the passenger side of the patrol car, and he does stop and linger, kind of looking up. Are you standing in the door still, or do you close the door?
Hey, close the door for sure. I'm not gonna stare creepily.
You know, if you like look through the curtains, he's standing there. You know, he kind of stands with his hands on the car door for a second, and just kind of looking. And he just kind of shakes his head and closes the door. And
Wenji yells, "Detonate it!"
go, 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 go!
Phew.
So yeah.
Ah, fuck. Okay.
Wow.
Best case scenario.
Nice job. Nice job.
Yeah, well handled. Well
Thank you,
handled.
thank you, thank you.
Can we do an alertness to check if anybody's skulking in the woods?
Yeah, you can give me that.
Critical success.
Critical success.
33.
Benedict, remember what I said last time about you having the rifle?
Mm.
Like, Benedict, you know, like, pulls over, like, another, like, one of these actual coffee tables, and just, like, you know, sets the rifle down, sits down, and is scanning.
He
Scanning.
already had the cops. He was like 2 meters away from
Ready
the
to
cops,
go.
but he was like
With a
the
sniper
reticle was
rifle.
on his nose. Yeah.
It's
What
literally
have we
like,
turned into? He was a journalist.
he's a journalist.
Prepared to execute police officers with a fucking sniper rifle.
So, like, you are you're ready to no-scope these kids.
Yeah.
But you,
Yeah.
Benedict, you take a long look through the the Leopold, you know, 10 times, you know, sniper rifle scope. You know, real hard look. You are fairly certain. Like, you are almost certain that there's no one observing you from the no one's observing you from the tree line. That being said, you also definitely get the feeling of, like, we should probably go. Like, if we're gonna go, there's probably no better time than the present.
Okay. All right. So
So y'all want to
everybody's
go,
back
or
in.
y'all still on the mirror thing?
Out of character, Dace is concerned about the 50 cal. He desperately doesn't want to lose the 50 cal.
Well, 50 cal's in the van. Is that what you're saying? You're afraid of leaving the van?
I think he thinks if we go through the mirror, we're gonna be in this other world, and who knows when we're gonna come back, type thing.
Listen, you could probably take the 50 cal with you. I mean, yeah, it's a giant piece of steel, and if you enter an ocean with it, you'd probably sink and die, but who knows? Maybe do really well in your swim check.
We. Well, let's take a temperature of the group. What are y'all thinking? Through the mirror or to investigate Victor?
Hank has
Correct.
gained some more sanity, so he's more on. Not that it's complete nonsense, but he's like, it's just no.
In which
Do I
direction?
want to go through the mirror with the lake that leads to another world with a giant leviathan in it, and maybe come out the other side? Hell no.
When you put
Okay.
it that way.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty convincing. That sanity did work. All right.
Is Benedict feeling the same way?
That would sway him, I think. That would sober him up from some kind of fugue of wanting to mess with the jittery mirror that he can't really explain.
I mean, I'm not gonna. If y'all want to try it, I honestly don't think outside of character it's gonna be something like we go through the mirror and we go through we come up out of the lake and it's the Broad album. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a lot shittier than that, and someone's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Probably so, but there's no one direct path to anything. Like, there's no wrong decision to make.
Except going
Depends
into
on what you
that
call
trap.
wrong.
But regardless,
Someone could die.
It's all part of the play.
I think no. Character-wise, he'd be swayed by that. Like Hank,
Okay.
you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. Things are getting weird.
Well, I mean, there's
be
plenty of
rigorous.
mirrors around. I'm sure we can find a hotel with a nice
I'm
mirror that
sure
you can look at.
if
too.
I've got mirror abilities, there'll be a mirror anywhere. Everywhere's a mirror. That's what they say.
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
I've heard that before too. Eyes up
Yeah.
to Benji.
I think Wenji is like, she just had to put on a super brave face, but she's like probably pretty shook right now. So she might not even be having this conversation. She's probably just gonna like go along with it, what y'all want to do.
Okay.
Let's find a place to lie low. I'm still at a loss to what the next step is. I mean, we do have some more information about this man that had this bottle, or the man that this bottle belongs to, but still seems to be a dead end. It's just more information.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Leave
Let's
your
go
phone,
find another
let's
place
mount
to-
up and go.
Okay.
And we're still stuck on the idea of leaving Hank's phone in the house for Delta Green to find.
I'm not sure how that works, but I don't. Probably not. Yes, let's just leave it there.
I
Okay.
think we have to.
Okay.
I made that choice before, so I think we need to stick by it.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys are hopping in the van and heading where?
Another shitty hotel or motel.
You also have the house that you were given. You were given the
Oh
keys
yeah,
to.
I forgot about that.
You can also go get bed bugs if you want to.
All right, let's try the house.
All right. Again, like this is it's like a pretty new development. Most of the houses, this is like probably the first house that's actually been completed in like a decent little kind of suburb. It's not like a townhouse necessarily, but it's small 2-story kind of house. The inside still smells freshly of sheetrock and just that construction-y kind of smell. You guys get in there, and you can attempt to kind of get some sleep tonight. I will say that, there's no beds. I don't know if you guys have like sleeping bags or something you've had in the car or something like that, but like you're gonna be roughing it a little bit, but also if you wanted to go like grab some creature comforts, it wouldn't be the craziest thing.
Yep. Let's rest up.
Okay. Is the intent to rest, or are you
Yeah.
guys gonna do anything tonight?
I don't know what there is to do. I mean, probably get rest and so we can click the checks and level up.
You did this metagamey thing last time, and I'm getting sick of it.
It has been a long day objectively for the characters.
Yeah,
too.
no, it has.
Before we sleep, I'd like to roll an accounting, an alertness, anthropology, archaeology, art, artillery, athletics,
Science,
bureaucracy, computer
dig in,
science, crime,
Unnatural.
technology, demolition.
Yeah.
Pilot.
Well, and you remember, I would say that as you guys are getting in, there is, actually, who is it? Hold on. Benedict, as you're sitting we'll say you're sitting in the passenger seat of the van you're driving, and you are looking at yourself in the rearview mirror, on the side mirror outside the window, and you're kind of looking at this mirror, and just the more time you spend looking into it, it's probably have half an hour drive, you find yourself more and more uneasy the longer, even just that, like, kind of the mirror is facing you. You find yourself more
Looking at myself.
Looking at yourself, yeah, I would say, or just kind of looking in the mirror at all. It's just like, it's kind of just, there's a creeping unsettledness that comes the longer you kind of find yourself in this place where there's just mirrors kind of facing you. And there is, there's probably at least one moment where you guys are kind of going through, maybe like kind of like a semi kind of busy area, like maybe a gas station or two, or like a pharmacy, like a Walgreens or something, just like a small, maybe you guys are sitting at a red light. There's probably a moment where you could swear that you see like the shadow of someone, like as you guys are stopped at a red light, like walking up to the side of the van from behind, like kind of like a shadow. And as you jerk around, there's no one there. But you kind of catch these weird glimpses here and there, and it's very, very unnerving. Yeah. But besides that, if you guys want to get back to the house with all the ammo and stuff, and try to get some rest. It has water, it has electricity, there's no food. I say you can grab some fast food on the way if you want. Something, there's probably an Arby's nearby. And, yeah.
I imagine we bed down and like in the master bedroom in the second story or something.
That's where all the ammo is.
Yeah. Cozy.
So,
Yeah. Cool.
Wenji will open up a window and light up a cigarette and just kind of like smoke for a second. Be like staring off like 5,000 yard stare. Earlier. Why are you rolling? Earlier. When the cops came to Barbas's house, I don't know if you could hear what I said, but I told them that Elias and I were dating, and I told them that I was Wendy Wright. Hank, Benedict, I believed it. I'm losing myself. I can't take it off. She like gestures down at the cloak.
that sucks.
Jesus. Well, and I'll reiterate some. And I'll reiterate something from when Benji first put the cloak on. You guys, it's becoming unnerving in a way. Like, obviously it was unnerving and shocking to see it happen. But you guys could see kind of, not through it, but there was always this awareness that Benji was indeed there. Like, the kind of illusion of Wendy Wright was always kind of shaky, kind of blurry, almost like you had put like a transparency or a filter over the top of Benji that was just like Wendy Wright shaped. We could always kind of make Benji out. I think it might be starting to get hard to distinguish where Benji starts and where Wendy starts.
In all seriousness, Hank will be kind of be like, well, it's been a long day, trying to like,
Sure,
you
we're just
can do whatever
tired.
you want. You're probably tired. Maybe think about taking off that cloak sometime, food for thought. Maybe you just had it on for too long.
Hank.
Well, I'm gonna sleep in the other room. I'll talk to you. I'll see y'all in the morning.
Answers the conversation.
Well, he like slaps.
Well, that's me.
Yeah, he slaps his
Slaps his knee.
slaps his knee. Well,
The old Minnesota goodbye. Knee slap.
Benedict will probably hang around and I don't know. I think he'll talk to Wenji and be like, "Well, buddy, this is not a normal situation. This is not a normal way to figure out how the hell we get through this life, but if that's what you think, that's what you feel, if that's what's making you comfortable, then that's all right by me."
I want to take it off, but if I do, I'll die. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Benedict, I don't remember how to play guitar.
Ooh.
Wow.
Help me.
We'll get you. Look, I heard that there's so many other cool instruments that would really tickle your fancy. I'm thinking we'll find a ukulele. We'll find a little bit of a
That's
bass.
just
You
a
can try
little
your hand at
guitar.
bass. Tiny guitar for your
Kazoo.
tiny girl fingers now, and we'll get you there.
Where is he?
Where's who?
Benjamin.
Ooh. We should probably get some rest. I don't think we should think about this for too much longer. We're
Take a
also
long
tired.
Drag of the cigarette. Kind of nods.
See how you feel in the morning. You don't have to think about anything now.
Where are you ashing?
Out the window.
As you do so, as you reach your hand out the window and tap the cigarette with your index finger as you ash it off, there's a brief moment where far, far across this developing area, there's another house that's like partially built up. Maybe it looks like it's just having its outside walls erected. You catch just the briefest glimpse of a humanoid figure standing, backlit by a construction light. And right as your eyes even begin to focus, the light goes off, and you lose sight of the figure.
This is me. Oh,
Turns back to Benedict. We're being watched. Shuts the window, closes the blinds. Be on alert.
okay. Benedict goes through the house and tries to cover up all the mirrors.
There's probably two. There's probably like a downstairs bathroom and an upstairs bathroom. And you cover them with like a tarp or something. There's probably like some miscellaneous construction-y stuff around. So you can do so.
And I don't know how cautious we want to be. Let's just check the doors and maybe double bar them so nobody gets in.
You can lock them, make sure the deadbolts are put in. There's not a lot in the house, so.
All right.
You can set up a claymore or an IED facing the stairwell.
In the house full of ammunition. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, maybe not.
You do you, man.
Nope.
I'm not telling you how to live your life.
All right, let's rest.
Okay. Everyone go ahead and click your buttons to roll your skills to uncheck all your failures so you can get a little bit of a skill back. Everyone, save for Benji, can go ahead and roll 1d6 to regain some willpower points.
I still have hit points that I need to regain.
Correct?
Yeah, that's the only thing I need.
Yes, and to that end, you guys can... Let's see. Let me grab that real quick. I believe you go ahead and roll a Constitution.
Check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Success.
Then 1d4.
Yep. If you got a critical success, did either of you get critical?
No.
Yep. Oh, no, sorry. It's just one. It's just one unless it's crit.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Oh, it's a 1.
No. I'm wrong. No, I'm right. Pardon me. 1. It's 1.
1 hit point.
You get 1 hit point back. If Benji would like to roll me a sanity check,
There it is.
you can take a plus 20 because you have pills. Go ahead and roll a sanity check plus 20. Let's see what you get.
Success.
Go ahead and roll your d6 to regain willpower as Benji again is able to go to sleep tonight.
4. Not bad.
Not bad. You're able to get a little sleep. You are woke up in the morning by the sound of a concrete truck backing up, not at your location, but maybe like across the street. But like the loud kind of beep, 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 sound of it backing up as, construction workers. It's Friday, the 18th, as workers have reported for duty and have begun to work bright and early, and they have disturbed you a bit. We will say that it is 7 o'clock on Friday, the 18th of September.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Good. What the fuck do we want to do? I think the way that Hank and Benedict are feeling, I think we just have to do some old school investigative journalism and start digging into this new lead, right?
Maybe. Wenji does have the ability to conjure demons
Demons.
or find them.
Find them.
We also have
That's
the
a-
ability
that's-
to conjure them.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, true.
At
And you-
least in the dream world.
Well, even the idea of like doing investigative journalism, like you have a journalist here. You kind of use some of Hank's stuff, to like you guys have resources, you guys have backgrounds that lend itself to uncovering things.
Well, let's throw the kitchen sink at it. Benji can reach out to, was it Malpheus or Malpheus that advised us to go to Barbas's house?
It was either one of them. I don't know.
Okay. Well, Benji can reach out to them and be like, what did you expect us to find? And in the meantime, y'all can use your resources to check out Victor.
Yep. I like that.
Okay.
So, Joe, do you want to play all... You're going to do all 3 of us at the same time. So you need to be...
One
we're
sentence at a
we're
time.
splitting up.
Everybody say one word and we'll form an entire sentence. Joe, start.
Are we splitting up? Is that the plan?
No, we're just doing some legwork at the house.
So
Okay.
we're planning.
you're planning, okay. So what do you guys want to do? It's like you want to try to. It sounds like Benji wants to try to contact Malpheus, whichever one it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Benedict is going to do what?
I think do some more... Actually, I don't know yet. Come to me last.
And what does Hank want to do?
The only thing I can think of, since is like literally trying to find someone Victor knew, an associate, to see what he was wrapped up in.
I would
Since he's dead,
say
his girlfriend's dead, or
I would say that you probably have access. I would say that you were smart enough to probably download that file or make some hard notes on on a notebook paper. You probably have at least names and probably some older contact info. It's probably a few years old now for maybe his family, and things like that. If you wanted to go down that, and I don't know what school he went to in Chicago. We'll make up one. I don't know if it exists. We'll say he went to the Chicago College of Arts.
Wow.
Chicago College of
That's
the
how
Arts.
it's done, folks.
It's very.
That's how you improv.
It's right there. Well known, renowned.
Okay.
And maybe Hank will be like, and maybe we could ask this realtor some more info about these bottles. I doubt we'll get anything besides a vague, mysterious answer, but It's worth a try.
What do you guys know about the bottles thus far?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
It's important that you find your bottle. It's like a compulsion.
I mean, it was also very weird that in the photos of snapshots of us escaping, we had bottles in our hands.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think you were told. I can't remember by who. It might have been Timothy Bile. I think you guys were told by someone that the bottles basically like hold like your answer to life, kind of thing, and that everyone's unique to every person, you know. And like even like the bottle you had seen previously, you've seen pictures of bottles. You saw Henry Samahina's bottle in the Samahina home, which was already
We
opened.
broke his bottle.
You broke his bottle.
We threw it down the little chute.
That's correct.
Wow.
You guys saw, so like you have seen the bottles, and the bottles do indeed seem to be unique, like literally in their construction. But it's been implied to you that they are made for the individual. So yeah.
If we have his bottle, he's looking for it. Is there a way that we could leverage that?
He died in
dead.
an alleyway in Chicago in 2007.
Yeah, but not in the night floors. Last
Yeah, but
session I saw
Go ahead.
in the little picture box there is an image of T model Ford. Why would that image be there? I don't think death is necessarily a concrete thing in the night floors. Like that tells me that T model might exist in my future. So
Roll me an intelligence check for Benji.
it's just where Joe tells Dace that he's stupid.
You have to rely on...
Benedict,
That's a
Benedict knows what he
failure.
wants to do.
Yeah, it's a failure.
There's something there. There is something there. It's tickling your brain. But you
I hate this. I hate this.
There's something down that line of thinking.
Roll again. Willpower.
Willpower, burn it! Burn it!
Oh, burn that willpower.
You know what? Fuck it. I will. I just got some willpower back. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
First time instituting a new rule.
Okay. Roll 1d4. So keep in mind. And the problem is, this is like a knowledge check,
Could get
so it's
worse.
hard to. What is
I mean,
worse? Do I just have to make
yeah.
up a lie? But you
I would,
know it was a
It-
lie because you know you failed.
Brain damage.
That's where I would be okay with the worst outcome being unrelated to like
Okay.
a knowledge thing, you know.
If
Yeah, fuck
you,
it. I'm gonna
if
do
you
it.
fail this,
Do
okay. So let's roll your d4. See how much willpower you burn.
3.
3 of the 4 you just regained. What does that put you at?
Yeah. 6 out of 12.
Which makes more sense too, because you're just training to understand the problem now. It's literally thinking about it. Which
When
would
she
be-
gets a nosebleed and it drips down into her lips.
All right, make me another intelligence check. Don't fuck it
Come
up.
on, Wenji.
Come on, this is your
If
thing.
you fuck it up, you're getting sanity damage.
Come on. Yes! 42 under 75. All right.
Nice.
Nice.
Gambling.
Well, that costs something. Definitely costs something.
You are reminded. Benji's Wenji's thinking this like why was T model Ford there? Why was he there? And then it hits you. May 2007. You're reminded of a conversation you had at T model Ford's funeral, who also died in 2007, who died in May 2007. You're reminded of a conversation you had with his sister. Benji, you know they said he OD'd. You know he didn't use the hard stuff. They told me he OD'd, and you know he didn't do that. You know he didn't do that. The lamentations of a heartbroken sibling. This smells bad.
Was there a body at the funeral?
There was.
Well, that's fucking confusing.
Is he
Brad,
related?
I need your narrative superpowers. I need your spoiler superpowers.
Well, they all died around the same time. It's making it sound like he was killed, did an OD. So he could be whatever he was involved. T Model 4 might be somehow related to what's going on with Victor. Like this whole situation, something happened when he released this movie, or unrelated to that, or the knowledge he gained from whatever this film he was going to release, and it was bad, and he was killed. T Model 4 was killed, and also his girlfriend was killed.
Was there like, okay, here's a
Oh,
crazy
shit.
theory. Was it a cull? Was it a Delta Green cull? They just like
Maybe.
chopped off.
We don't. Yeah, I don't know if it's Delta Green or if it's
Like everybody that was
something.
involved with the night floors, like it got too. Like
No, wait. Maybe
what you got?
we need to find out who attended the film opening, if that actually happened, and if T Model Ford was at the opening.
Yeah.
Maybe there was like a spread that they tried to contain.
Yeah,
T
yeah,
Model
yeah.
Ford was a right
That's definitely
bystander.
something DG would do. When did T Model die? What date? In 2007. So Victor died in the 21st of May, and his film premiered on the 5th of May. So when did T Model die?
The 18th of May.
Could be worth looking into, Benedict.
You think? I would say, this is like this is where we get into like the ad lib of, like world building and Benji knowledge versus Dace knowledge. You could call some of T Model's family. You don't know if his sister's still alive. She was quite old. But some of the other family still is alive, and you knew them a little bit. You could make those contacts. You could even attempt to find out you could look into some records, maybe, of where he was when things happened and stuff like that. There's a lot of different ways to go about this. You can be creative with it. If you can't come up with anything, you can always roll a skill to see if that skill will come up with something for you.
Okay.
Because again, you guys are not, agents and whatnot. So when the players fail, the skills come in.
All right, Hank will roll criminology to see, try to tap in what's the best way to approach this theory.
Okay.
Success 49 under 60.
There's a lot of different ways to go. You could see if you could gain access to the coroner's report to see if because apparently he OD'd on heroin. You had also never known T Model 4 to engage. Maybe here and there, maybe a little, maybe back in the day, but as an old man, not so much. Well, you weren't aware of that anyway. Maybe coroner's reports if you want to really check the validity of this. Doing some old-fashioned legwork and contacting family and people close to see if you can track down his whereabouts in the weeks before his death. See if you find anything interesting there.
The whereabouts is probably going to be something that's going to move us forward. I mean, coroner report, sure, but we're already pretty sure it was a setup. I mean, so what are we going to find? That it wasn't heroin, really? Or it was covered up, So his whereabouts might be helpful. That's what I'm thinking.
Is that
Can
what?
I?
Then we
Hank
could figure
says
out
to-
where.
Is that what
Then-
Hank says to
Yeah,
Wenji?
that's what Hank says. Then we could, if we find out where he was, maybe we can find out where this film was aired at,
I've got some
Well-
people in the art world I can reach out to about this film, maybe.
Yes, that would be good. I was very close. Benjamin was very close with T Model. Benjamin could talk to his family. I'm
That's
afraid they wouldn't
maybe not a
receive
good
me.
idea. There's an APB out for you. For Benjamin, correction.
So you
But
don't want to
maybe we
call
could
him?
talk. Maybe we could talk to them. We could go to a phone booth, a public phone.
Well, I wouldn't mind. I'll if it's too much to hand, I'll call the family. And maybe I could do it under the guise of, uh, even though it might be painful to hear that there's another investigation into his death, and through that way, uh, contact the family and try to get his whereabouts at the time.
Okay, Benedict's gonna
When she
take Hank
nods
aside. Wait,
solemnly,
quick one.
go.
Quick one. He's gonna take Hank aside and maybe intimate like Hank. I think we're losing Benji. It might be a good opportunity for him to actually reconnect with who he was, if he phones the family. I don't know what you think.
I mean, that's fine with me too.
All right, then Benji, I think you should phone.
I was kind of confused as to what the player wanted to do. It sounded like the player didn't want to call the family, so I was gonna step in. But if it's
Well,
Here he goes
if we're
again.
if we're trying to build some
psychology.
kind of, if we're building some you know, a scene here, we can definitely pull it back where Benji from the depths of his sorrow can reach out.
100% don't think about what the player wants to do. The player is just fucking riding this weird wave.
Right. So
What's
I'm a
happening?
push to try and get Benedict to come back from being Wenji or Wendy. So I think Benji needs to phone, even if it's a risk.
Just try taking off this magical robe.
We're gonna go to the other room really quickly,
Yeah.
but you know what? You choose. You choose, Wenji.
You don't have to take the robe off.
Be Wenji pretending to be Benji.
Just get the voice all wrong.
She she hears you both, and if y'all leave the room, she will think about it, and she'll look down at her feminine fingers,
And it's like they
thin and narrow.
if you look down at them, they it's hard to say which they are. Are they Benji's hands or are they Wendy's hands? Like it's
And she wonders, like, she takes the cloak off, she dies.
He's worried about that.
Well, it's the death of. He'll come back, but where's she gonna go? So yeah, I'm just gonna roll a straight up. I think maybe a power roll is maybe that's a good. Does that sound like a good stat for this kind of like?
to do
problem,
what?
power.
To take it off or to make the call?
To decide to take it off.
Okay. See, if you succeed, are you gonna take it off? Or you succeed and you leave it on?
Who's in charge? Oh. If I succeed, she'll take it off.
Let's do it.
That sound like a plan? All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Rolling power.
Rolling for identity.
Failure. Okay,
Wenji it is.
that's what the dice say.
That's the
I imagine
Amazing.
she goes to like grab the lapels and she just stops and no. No, this is me. He's gone. And she comes back out of the room and just kind of like
Jeez.
shakes her head. No.
Okay.
He's all you got, man. Like it's Wenji. Like this is what you got. This is your team.
Okay.
I wondered how Benji could get more fucked up.
We found it.
We
This
found
is
it.
So are you gonna make this call or not? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. Make me
Is there
a...
anything else we want to do before we make the call, or are we just going straight into it?
What did Hank want to do again?
Yeah.
He just used criminology to give some insight on the best way to attack this Victor situation, and
Okay.
probably the best way is through R.L. Burnside, or not. Who is T Model Ford? So ridiculous. Call his family members and see where he was around about this time of his death, because it's we think that he was at the screening or somehow involved with Victor.
Yeah, so I think Benedict would want to do one of two things: either help out to understand if they're at the screening, or he would want to call Robert Norris. But that's a different direction, different track.
Correct.
So let's do the call.
Okay. Make me a luck roll for Benji. Don't try to start making some calls.
Let's. 72. Fuck. Oh well.
You get something problematic. A, T Model Ford's sister is dead. And you think that was probably your closest connection to the family itself. That being said, like, maybe you call some numbers, you call around, you're able to find like a relation who like vaguely remembers. And well, let me ask you: are you speaking as Benji on the phone?
No. She can't.
Okay.
He's gone, or he's suppressed. He's somewhere. He's somewhere else.
He's in there. So you're calling around, you're asking questions, and like, people don't really know you. They don't really want to talk to you. Like, what's your angle? You're like, oh, I'm a professor at Juilliard, and I'm interested in, doing some research on like what's your angle as Wendy Wright?
I mean, yeah, probably just exactly what she is. She's Benji's mentor for his dissertation, so it would just be calling in relation to clarify some details for Benji's dissertation. He's indisposed at the moment. But...
Make me a persuade roll. Let's see how well, like, you already were unlucky in that your closest connection is gone. Let's see if you can finagle something otherwise out of the people who were close to them.
God, ice cold failure.
You're not able to get something. You're not able to get anything from the family. Not right now. You think that this is going to be hard, as you think that Benji might have had a better time.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so that's where you are now. What were the other two of you looking into? Remind me.
I can
go ahead.
I could look into maybe through Art Connections, Benedict's Art Connections,
The
might
art
know
scene.
about the film that got premiered. Who attended?
Let's hear it. Let's you have a name. You have Victor Karel.
Victor Karel, the date of the opening night on the 5th of May, and that's a success.
That's a success. You're able to do a little bit of digging. You find out that also this Louisa Reggie, Victor Karel's girlfriend, was also in the theater department. I think you might have already known that. But you do find some vague references to a date. A date which was the 5th of May, 2007. That you were able to dig up, maybe calling some people around, like, hey, have you heard of this person who did like I'm trying to find this really indie niche, filmmaker, very short professional life in Chicago, and you can find a date, is what you find. But again, the more and more you dig, or even the people you talk to, maybe even some of your connections, maybe you have some connections like in the Chicago art journalism field. One of the things I say is like, this is weird. Like, this info should be here. Like, I can't find it anywhere. You have people going to bat for you, and they still can't find it. Roll me a luck roll for Benedict.
28.
Someone along the way mentions something to you. mentioned, they're like, there's like, she's like, well, and maybe you even mentioned that date to someone. You're talking to one of your compatriots, one of your peers, who's in much more of like, kind of art, art critic kind of journalism, and they tell you, it's like, well, I was in town when that happened. I remember around that date, like they don't know anything about it, but they mentioned something. They're like, yeah, on the 4th of May, I was actually, you ever heard of the, have you ever heard of the Blues Heaven Foundation?
No.
Yeah, they actually had had a bunch of these old timers come down and dedicate this building. It's the museum now. It's the Blues Museum, sorry, technically this wouldn't have happened yet. But yeah, they're gonna open a big blues museum. They were doing like signings and stuff like that. I remember like I was there covering that.
On the 5th.
On the 4th.
On the 4th.
Yeah. So
And
yeah.
where was that?
Downtown. They'd rented out a space for it. Had a bunch of these like old school blues legends and stuff like that. There is like a gala like charity event to raise money for the building the museum. It's supposed to open in like 2018. I think they're kind of working with the city on it now.
All right. Were there any events planned, parties around it?
Parties? I don't know. I was just kind of covering it. It was a long time ago, Benedict.
All right.
But yeah. So that's kind of what you find.
Thanks, and just ignore all that stuff on the news about me. It's bullshit.
What
See you
news?
later. Okay, bye.
I was like, what? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fake news.
Fake news. Trendsetter over here.
Okay, so it seems plausible that he could have attended, or the film overlapped with the blues, so he may have been there in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Victor's film premiered in the same. Sorry, I spaced out for a second. In the same
Day afterwards, same city. Day afterwards, that the opening of the Blues Museum in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. You receive one last communique as you're trying to talk to different people about this.
You gotta check all the box. You gotta turn the box upside down.
Yeah, turn the
all
box
that.
upside down. Everybody knows
All the
that.
plot devices to come out. Yeah.
You get one last communique, which someone tells you, yeah, I heard about that play. Heard about it.
Play.
play.
Oh, no, sorry. Film. It was a film.
Got it.
They're like, yeah, it was a screening. Didn't go. I didn't go. You were like your last communique, basically. Someone tells you, yeah, I remember, they were talking about, it was pretty big for a screening for, like a senior type project, for a film student. I remember it was pretty big. It kind of got, I think there were a few hundred people there, really. I remember it was weird because I heard from someone later that apparently a bunch of people like stormed the stage, and then the screening like ran across the stage where they were having it. They had it in an auditorium, and a bunch of people stormed the stage. They thought it was a part of the whole thing. They were like, but there were like people with guns and stuff like that, and the whole place kind of cleaned out. And it's yeah, crazy thing. Like they said, these guys with trench coats, and it's just this whole crazy thing. Real sad about what happened to her, though.
Louisa.
Who's that? No, I'm talking about my friend. Yeah, just like a week later, car accident. Real sad stuff.
Oh.
What was her name?
It's not important.
Deftly avoided.
But yeah.
Okay. So this was definitely a contamination event with some Carcosian incursion shit happening.
Is there a way to
Everybody-
figure out if everybody that attended this event died under suspicious circumstances? Because that's certainly what it sounded like. If only we were smart enough.
I would say that Hank definitely, like, I would say that Hank would probably have an idea of this. It's like, if there was, like, you could probably go back, like, in that month and just, like, get, like, coroner's reports or stuff like that, especially if people died. Right? Or even some police files. But again, Hank, you're not 100% sure how safe you accessing police files is.
We're trying to. Okay. We're really trying to find the broad outline anyway there. But all we have is this Victor guy. We have his bottle. I think it's worth looking into. We need to learn more about the bottles, how we could possibly use this bottle in some capacity. Maybe hit up the realtor agent / demon and get some more info from her. I think is one thing we could do. Another thing, I think the only thing that could lead us closer to anything dealing with this case is to find the actual movie. So do we know? It's been forever ago, but like maybe we could look into like what they would actually do with the student's film if it wasn't destroyed that night, you know, if it's housed somewhere in storage. Those are just my ideas.
Yeah. As you guys are having this conversation, as you're digging into this, you know, maybe Wingy or maybe one of the other two of you approaches the window again to take a smoke. You are very, very surprised to see out the window, you see what looks like a man running. The first person is wearing one of these gas masks and trench coats.
What the hell?
He's running down the street and dives for cover behind a bush and then disappears behind one of these partial constructions. You then see what appears to be 3 other people in trench coats walking along, all holding weapons. One of them seems to be holding like an old school, like World War II. Benedict and Hank would both recognize them as like an M1 Garand, or no, probably an M1 carbine. Like they're like,
Fuck me.
They're like walking down the street, broad daylight, gas mask, trench coats, and they seem to be scanning. One of them's holding a carbine, 2 of the other ones are holding shotguns, and they're scanning. And they walk right past these construction workers. And neither group seems to notice the other.
Worlds are colliding.
Guys, are we still on the night floors? Did we not leave?
I don't think.
I
don't know.
They slowly continue to patrol down. And then just as they round a corner, you then see a group of probably 5 or 6 what looks like policemen on foot. But these are not your modern day police officers. They look like they have been plucked from a movie from the 1940s. And they too are scanning with their pistols. Even one of them like walks up to one of the construction workers and seems to ask him like, "Have you seen anything?" And the construction worker doesn't bat an eyelash. He just shrugs. "Oh no, nothing. Sorry." As they continue down the street.
And we all see this. All 3 of us see this.
You all 3 can see this 100%. And then just as quick as they all came up, they all disappear, you know, behind, maybe like just like behind a car, you know, or behind, you know, a piece of construction equipment or a partially built wall, and they're gone.
Hank's got to just like go outside and look around. Like, can he just? He's like, he can't just let this go. He goes outside and he looks in the general bush where that dude jumped in.
In 1995, you guys entered the McAllister building. You unknowingly became kind of ingrained in the night world itself. You went to the night floors. While you were there, you observed a situation which you saw two men running and pursued by men in gas masks with weapons. You heard gunshots. You ran around the corner, and you discovered two mannequins that had this paper mache red blood coming out of them. Everything about them, they had IDs, they had money. And you have not seen that for 20 years until this moment. As you see another one of these mannequins splayed out as if it had dove for cover and was hiding underneath this bush. Again, completely clothed in a very... as if they are wearing clothes from a different time. Hank, as you look up, you see that one of the construction workers is looking at you. He's like got a hand up on the wall and a hammer, like he was in the middle of hammering something. And he was looking at you, and as you look up, you see his head snap back forward, and he begins to hammer. And you realize that he isn't hammering anything, that he appears to be fake hammering.
Are they actors too?
In fact, you see that right behind the you then look down behind the house that's being built, and you see that there are two of these construction workers, each holding a piece of paper in their hand, and one of them says, "All right, so I say first," and they seem to be reading lines to each other of the kind of things that you would expect to be going on a construction site. As you look and see this, the guy who's hammering, you hear him clear his throat very loudly, and these two kind of start and look at you and stick these scripts in their back pockets and kind of get back to their business. And that, my friends,
What the
probably
hell's going on?
a good place to stop.
No.
Let's keep going.
It's not a good place.
No, we're gonna keep going. Actually,
Yeah.
thank you for the suggestion, handler.
Good
But no, actually,
Vetoed.
Vetoed.
if I roll a successful unnatural right now,
We are. We're just powering ahead.
will you tell me, on God,
On
if we're
God.
still in the night floors, no cap?
No cap. Sure. Roll your roll. Roll your roll. What do you get?
Ah, failed it. Fuck.
You don't know. All right.
Whatever.
Guys, thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for putting up with this. I know there is a good bit of frustration.
Hard. This is difficult.
But it's
I like it.
It's fun.
What the fuck was that?
Worlds are colliding, man.
One day we're gonna get done with this, and you can ask all the questions you want.
We're in a
I'll just-
play. We're not in a play. We
Play
don't know.
is expanding. The play is the incursion.
Yeah.
We are the play.
All right, everyone listening, everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us, man. It means so much. Like, just the fact that people are enjoying this, it just continues to astound me. I mean, I know we're enjoying it, so that's in that way it's not astounding. But thank you so much for being a part of this with us. We love having you in the Jambulance. And again, I'd like to thank our two most recent contributors, Lynn and Jonathan. Again,
Hi, Lynn. Hi, Jonathan.
man,
Thank you.
Nice.
thank you so much. And listen, if you want to join them along with everybody else, if you want to get the episodes a week early, you want to get access to the Sandy Check, some of the exclusive content we have on there, please consider heading over to the Patreon. It's just $3 a month. You buy us a cup of coffee. It's really handy. But we would really, really appreciate it. And links for all that and our socials, our kind of Reddit HQ, they're all wherever that you're listening, wherever you're watching. But yeah, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, I guess.
And I love the fact that we got to use the new willpower thing right
Yeah.
now. Like, that was kind of good.
Yeah. Nice
That was fun. I don't think it was worth it, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a risk. That's always a risk. But yeah, next time we might be doing some reverb. We might. We'll see.
Yes.
See where things are
going. Brad and I are gonna chat. We're in the same city, so we can
that's
maybe have
handy.
a session. Create a character. Real
I cannot wait to see what Brad brings into this situation.
Mm, yeah.
Cool. We'll
But
just chat about dates offline. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. But guys, again, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Some really, really wild stuff from Days today. Not a bad
Yeah.
like
That was awesome.
like good, like dude. You want to talk about playing your character?
Mm-hmm.
You're doing it, man.
Mhm.
Characters.
Oh, I
Characters.
appreciate it.
Fighting
I
wolf.
worry about like taking up too much time with that shit, but
Nah, I'm enjoying it.
okay.
I think
Alright.
it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone listening, everyone watching, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on our weird little adventure. But we will catch you next time. And remember, everyone, always remember, from me to you, from us to you, please stay safe and stay sane. Bye.
Alright.
Bye.